But mostly raised in Hertfordshire. You'll be pleased to hear that I left the disease and starvation behind, but unfortunately I brought my abject poverty with me. I am working on the money situation at the moment actually, insofar as I've initiated court proceedings against a former landlord who still owes me my deposit. I had my reservations even before I moved in actually, because I called up the house, and the guy who answered had the thickest Nigerian accent I'd ever heard. I thought to myself, okay, this guy sounds pretty fresh off the boat, and he's probably not going to rip me off. I'll carry on from where I left off. I'll try and keep the voice up so people at the back can hear me. So I called the house, I spoke to the landlord, and he had the thickest Nigerian accent I'd ever heard. I thought to myself, okay, this guy sounds pretty fresh off the boat, he's probably not going to rip me off. And he did, which is ironic, because there's one thing I learned from my parents, it's never to trust the Nigerian with your money. And now I'm going to have to send the bailiffs round to see whatever goods are left after I got raided by HMRC last year. But I moved out some time ago, and actually became very good friends with the woman that moved into my old room. Though we probably wouldn't be quite so close if you knew how many times I cracked one off under that desk. And I don't mean sitting at the desk either, I mean literally hunkered down underneath it like a troll under a bridge. Or eventually bomb shuffling my way out through the wet spot. We had hardwood floors, it was fine. But once I do get that deposit back, I will be knee-deep in bitches. Well, it's probably because I haven't been seeing anyone for a while now. It's probably because I've never been too on board with the idea of going out on the pull, as they call it. But, now, there's nothing wrong with like going out, meeting someone, striking up a connection. But when you systematically approach strangers until you find one that's willing to sleep with you, it doesn't really sound like you're trying to meet a person, just anyone or anything that won't actively fight you off. And also people insist on doing this in clubs as well, which I've never really liked. Because they're loud, they're dark, they're crowded. How are you supposed to find out how much you like someone when you can neither hear, see, nor readily identify them? I know a number of people manage to hook up in spite of all this. I'm sure even more have managed to hook up on account of all of this. But when you're awkward and weird like me, the places you can meet people decay exponentially. The best I can hope for these days is a chance encounter on the train ride home from work. So the first rule of public transport is never ever speak to anybody else ever. So now my chances have been relegated to a misconnection ad in the newspaper. I don't think anyone's going to write into the metro saying, I saw you absolutely crushing it on Mario Kart 7 on the 1738 of Welling Garden City. You are mouthing the words to Savage Garden's Crash and Burn, which is playing on your iPod Classic. I'm hoping one day you can power slide into my vagina. Not going to happen. Like I said, I have had a degree of success with more conventional channels. Last year, one of my equally weird and awkward friends and I got talking to these two girls in a pub. And I won't bore you with the details of how it all started, but long story short, we bribed them with cake. Now, one of these girls was really, really hot, and the other one looked a little bit more attainable. Twisted, I still would have quite happily smashed it. But my definition of the word attainable does vary slightly depending on whether or not there are any women present. If there are women present, it means that she's hot but not a stuck-up bitch. If there aren't women present, it means that she's attractive but not out of my league. Both complimentary but one slightly less divisive than the other. So we talked to these girls all night, we exchanged contact details, we made plans to meet up with them later on in a few weeks' time. And and you have no idea how much a few hours of being able to act as a functional human being is my normally catastrophically low self-esteem. So we meet up with the girls at the pub again a couple of weeks later, and we're just drinking, chatting, talking to them and trying our best not to embarrass ourselves. But my friend and I found that on one of our return trips to the bar, there was some random guy sitting in my seat talking to the girls. It wouldn't have ordinarily been a problem, but this guy just stayed with us for the whole night, despite being met with nothing but thinly veiled indifference from the rest of the group. And what made it even worse was that the fact that he was one of the worst types of men you were ever likely to meet. And stateside, he's known as a doom thrower. I don't know if you have a word for it over here, but I'm pretty sure you're aware of the type. Got a tribal armband tattoo on one arm, an Arsenal FC logo tattooed on the other, dicked around every day at school, so now he has a job involving vans and or ladders. And he recently got back from a 2-week holiday. Start a riot in here. Anyway, had a tribal armband tattoo on one arm, Arsenal FC logo tattooed on the other, dicked around every day at school, so now he has a job involving vans and or ladders. And now he just got back from a 2-week holiday in Ibiza carrying a mutated strain of chlamydia AIDS. Like he's some kind of ladies' man, but everybody knows those white stains on his tracksuit bottoms aren't plaster. That, people, is a sign of a man who owns a laminated copy of the boobs issue of Nuts magazine. I thought every issue of Nuts magazine was the boobs issue. Clearly there is some subtle nuance that only the most dedicated of their readership can pick up on. And again, this would have been quite so bad if he kept his dickishness to himself and his way of life approach to nights out, so-called, because he careens forward in a straight line until he ends up hitting something he can't penetrate. But he insisted on making fun of my friend and I because we weren't working class scum like he was. My friend and I are qualified IT professionals, which this guy took to me we just sat at a desk sending emails all day, which this guy still managed to find hilarious despite the fact of being completely untrue. But he and his mate actually, who materialised at what I can only assume was a nearby JJB Sports. Now, I normally like to think I'm pretty good with a comeback, like the time this woman was giving me attitude in the street when I asked her for directions. Sorry, I've already got a boyfriend. 9.8 metres per second squared. You what? I'm sorry, I thought we were both answering questions nobody asked. What am I supposed to say to this guy? This is the first time that I've been insulted by being in a position of relative privilege. I couldn't think of what to say without coming off like a condescending snob, so I just kind of laughed it off. Yeah, hell, what am I like? Using my brain to solve complex technical issues when clearly hammering bits of wood together is the wave of the future. But anyway, anyone who knows women even a little well, and anyone who knows my life even remotely well, will be able to tell you which two guys the girls went home with that night. But the most embarrassing part of explaining to my flatmates what happened when I got home that night. So Paul, how are the girls? Bigger boys took them. Coming back to the cake thing actually, I like to think that I've learned my way around the baking tin over the years. And one thing I've realised when shopping for ingredients is that the word cooking, when used as an adjective, is just another word for rubbish. Cooking wine, cooking chocolate, cooking apples, cooking program, they're all just objectively worse versions of things that people would otherwise enjoy. I'm going to leave you now with a cooking-related pun I had a little while ago. What type of cheese do you use to hide a horse? Mascarpone! We have a winner. So actually, I tried that joke out on a friend of mine a little while ago, and they have what I refer to as oral dyslexia, which is they confuse words that sound the same rather than words that look the same. So I said to them, oh, what type of cheese do you use to hide a horse? Mascarpone! Isn't that the type of brown sugar? That's muscovado. Isn't that a method of preserving cherry? That's maraschino. Isn't that the Italian fashion house that's popular in the mid-90s? That's Machino. Isn't that the former Liverpool and Argentina defensive midfielder. That's Javier Mascherano. Isn't that a combination of chocolate, hot chocolate and coffee? That's a mochaccino. Isn't that the name of Brandon T. Jackson's character in Tropic Thunder? That's Al Pacino. Wasn't that the name of that guy that had that cameo in Jack and Jill? That's Al Pacino, and we're coming back to your taste in films. I thought that was the name of the Arabic Broadcasting Corporation, and Shut Up. That's Al Jazeera. I thought that was the Colombian singer-songwriter. That's Shakira. I thought that was a techno rave metal band from St. Albans. That's Anta Shikari. I thought that was... Sorry. I thought that was a Japanese animated TV series like the Zyback Empire's quest to reactivate the power of the lost city of Atlantis. That's escaflowne. Really? Some other type of cheese I would reduce to hide a horse. I hope you die in the fire.